as a member of the public at your meeting on the 28th of May. I wonder if the council's received any response from the East Riding of Yorkshire Council.
I'm not aware of any as such, but I will make notes and request that the clerk brings it to our attention.
Yes, I think you urgently need a response to that, because what I observed was unfounded allegations of potentially criminal activity being raised against councillors, and there was also, in my view, behaviour from Councillor Tagg deliberately intended to intimidate her fellow councillors and to interrupt the democratic function of this body. That should be referred to the Scrutiny Committee, and in particular with the allegations of potentially criminal activity. If Councillor Tagg or any of the questioners associated with her has evidence, then that should be submitted to Humberside Police immediately. I don't think it has, so I think, in my view, as I said to the Chair, those allegations are completely unfounded and unevidenced, and as such, that behaviour needs to be considered by the Scrutiny Committee. And in my view, if I was on the Scrutiny Committee, I will be taking significant action against Councillor Tagg. I know that already that behaviour, in use of the mobile phone and broadcasting on her personal website, is going to continue today.
Thank you for that. We'll bring it back for an answer.
Thank you.
I think with being an election, or when it's murder, so nothing could really happen at East Riding. So nothing will happen too much, because everyone will be, all the officers of the council will be involved in sorting that, and of course there'll be no ward councils either at that point, because they wouldn't be allowed to do something. Professionally, I was speaking to a councillor who heads up the Scrutiny Committee last week, and they're getting back into the swing of it now, so we should start expecting normal service to resume at any moment after the election.
Anything further? Is there anything that the council would like to bring up in the forum that isn't in any of the agenda items?
Can I speak, please? I'd just like to ask, have we got an arborist report for the tree on the island? It's just that quite a few people have been asking me questions.
I would think that would probably come under the committee reports when we've got the main committee giving their answer, their information onto it. So if we wait until that point, we'll ask them for.
Well, surely, doesn't nobody know if we've got an arborist report to say that the tree is actually dead, or can it be saved?
For members of the public or councillors to bring up something that isn't already on the agenda.
Why is that's not on the agenda?
The committee report.
Pardon? Oh, okay.
Committee reports is, and as we've got
Fine,
the main
fine.
committee, then I would assume that it would come under that. Okay, so
Is there not something else we discussed like that before?
the bus.
Yes.
This is what. Thank you.
Yes, correct.
This was something that I think we're going to flounder a little without having.
Yeah, you're right, though. Thanks for reminding us.
No, you're all right. I've got one use. I'll use it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to read it, to find the email and read it?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
If I just proceed to review the.
Yeah.
That's great. We received an email from a member of the parish who was very concerned that the school bus was being seized for Driffield School, and if we were to put it on the agenda as a normal agenda item, it would not be until September's meeting, which would be too late because then school would have started, and so we decided that it would be a good idea if we could discuss it here. So have you got it?
Yeah. I write with hope that Northampton Parish Council could write to Driffield School and East Riding Council regarding the cancellation of the daily school bus to Driffield Senior School, which has been in operation for at least the last 35 years. The bus that travels through the village on the morning and night has been cancelled, forcing children from the bottom of the village to walk up to Bridlington Road, or due to the distance, consider walking Markman's Lane. as we parents pay for this service at a standard child's fare, which has just been increased to £1.20 per journey or £2 per return, it's not as if they are not receiving any income for this service. This decision will cause overcrowding on the service buses and also potentially put our children at risk from a safeguarding point of view, as they will travel with the general public. It has already received a little press support and of course rumblings on social media, but that will not get the service our children need. I would encourage your support to reinstate the service for the sake of our children in this ever-expanding village. And that's for Andrew Watts.
I'll comment on that if I may as a councillor. I use the bus service 3 days a week to go to work in Beverley. It's the 121 which is at the top of the village opposite Cross Keys. That service currently runs at 7:44 and 8:44. Now my concern on reading the parishioner's letter to the council is, do you really expect children to have to get up early, or parents to get children up early to get to a bus at 6:45 in the morning, to be dropped off at school potentially 5 minutes later? I mean, I don't know what time they start school nowadays because my kids are well grown up, but there will be a significant time lag where children are either waiting to get into the school, and if they take the later bus at 8:44, which will drop off maybe 5 minutes later because it does stop opposite the new Bellway development, they will be late getting into school. So I don't see how that benefits our children in this village really, and I do feel for the parents because, you know, that's a huge disruption at the beginning of the day to get your children ready to get on a bus that they've then got to hang around outside school. And one, don't want to dramatise it too much, but if it's winter time, you wouldn't want your child standing out in the pouring rain, would you? And you certainly wouldn't want them waiting to go to school where they might be at risk, particularly if they're a female. So I don't know, like you say, Sue, from what they're saying, it's not like it's a free bus, they pay, like my kids did historically. So my concern would be the current 121 bus service, the timings are not right for the children to be able to get to school in a timely fashion, and it almost seems like the parents would be penalised. Well, that's just my view.
I used to work for the bus company that used to operate that, and that bus was always full. I mean, it was full.
Just grabbed it.
Whether or not it's worth approaching EYMS and seeing if they'd be interested, a lot of the case of whether or not they run these services are fill-in services. That's why the bus company wants to do them, because they operate throughout the day. The school services, all school services, are extra profit basically. It enables them to bring a member of staff in half an hour earlier than they would start, and then basically get a big chunk of money out of the council and school. It might be worth maybe speaking to the school, speaking to East Riding Yorkshire Council and ourselves, and deciding if it's something we see value in between the three of us, and whether or not there's funds from some direction, possibly a mix of the three, and then approaching EYMS and probably Busking as well, who might have an interest in operating. It would be more convenient for Busking to operate, I suspect, than EYMS, because I suspect the reason why EYMS aren't operating is they've probably lost the ability to operate.
Who was that other person?
Busking. Tim Wilkinson. He was Tim Wilkinson anyway, who operates them.
Do you know why the service?
Like I say, I can only speculate, I don't know, but I can only speculate that probably that they haven't, EYMS probably haven't got the facility to do it, that they've had a lot of staffing issues over the last 6-7 years, and I suspect that they've just viewed it as too much strain on them. I suspect, I'm speculating out of thin air.
Parish council, what can we do for this apart from make our objections known?
Yeah, I think you need to review it with each
We
other.
can't go, but
We have enough power.
We can pass the old law now.
Yeah.
I think we need to do what we can.
I did write some questions, sorry, Chair, to interrupt you, sorry. And it was, so the questions are, why is the council prioritising other services over the children's safety, safeguarding and transport issues? What concrete steps is the council taking to ensure that there's continuing of the service? won't disrupt children's education. How can the council justify the decision given the potential impact on families, children's safety, and those who rely heavily on the service accessing education? Was there comprehensive and transport consultation process? Really not. And was all stakeholders engaged within that? Really not. What evidence was used by the council suggests that the families can easily adapt to this change, and particularly those without alternative transport options. Is it a final decision, or can it be reconsidered? What is the plan to address or mitigate the issues of transport that may be caused through being late or absenteeism because of that? So that's a question for the school, really. And is there a contingency plan for families who are disproportionately affected by this, and those who can't afford or time off work to take the children to school? So there were just some of the questions that I had for the council. I think it's the board that have done this, and I think it's been done without any, well, not without the consultation, because we've not been asked.
Anybody know the route?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it didn't ever go down Station Road, did it? It didn't go down to the train
No,
station.
historically it always picked up near the Blue Bell, I saw. And dropped off.
It used to
always
loop
gone
around
and loop
it is
round.
Martin Lane, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it used
Yeah.
to loop round Martin Lane, pick up outside the primary school,
Yeah.
and then come up the village. So it wasn't a great route to start with, truth be told.
So only does that tiny.
But of course, the kids can walk through the cut-throughs, I suppose,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the bottom
But
end.
it
But
doesn't go to, well no, because Wansford gets picked up by the
Yeah.
other one, so it is only just.
there's the potential to make it a much better service if we can push to get it reinstated by having it run down to the bottom of Station Road and then just run all the way up the village, which would make a lot more sense if we could achieve that. It shouldn't cost a penny more.
No.
Just be turning.
Just turn around in the just beyond the station, the little road up there. You turn the bus around that
I
easily.
mean, do we think we ought to write to the head of Driffield School? I know time's running out,
I
but
think we need all three of us on council ourselves
Yeah.
and
Council,
Yeah.
Driffield
I think it's a budget saving thing for the council.
and I also think that it's probably something we should cite Mr Dewhurst, our newly elected MP.
Yes.
Bearing in mind he was a ward councillor, and in respect of him, he did support us a lot, like fellow East Riding councillors at these meetings.
Yeah.
We have
So
Jonathan here, is it worth?
Yeah, so
So-
we've got a ward councillor with us.
Also, we've got Councillor
Oh,
Howard.
so-
who's
I
our
well, we
councillor.
have got some information on that one.
Yeah, we do need the information and the questions that you've got. Send them to me via email,
I was
please.
going to ask if you sent them
Also,
through to.
if you could copy Councillor Howard and Councillor Owen. The official line from the East Riding is that if it's the distance is less than 3 miles, then it's not the council's responsibility. But you know, with the concerns that you've brought up, I think it's something that we really need to fight for on your behalf.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
yeah.
there's a very large need for it. You know, it's not just 1 or 2 children, is it?
No.
It's also something that we can forward on to Charlie on
Yes.
your behalf. And
It's just that
I'm
time I've been
on this.
using that service regularly, which is very good, when I use it to commute to work. The timings are not suitable for the children in this village to get to school on time. That's the main issue. I think if the service bus was something like 8:30, our argument as a parish council and as villagers would be weakened. But currently, that service is not.
So can I just get it straight then? So when this service goes, there is a service bus, but the timings don't work?
No,
Is
there's
that-
7:44 in the morning
Oh, I see.
and 8:44 in the morning.
So neither of them work really, do they?
And of course,
I don't think so, because then even if the children get to school at sort of 5 to 9,
Yes, they're
it's
still
putting
gonna
pressure on
get
them.
in.
If they've got an
that's
exam or
it's
they've
not-
got to
they
get
have
to
be in
somewhere.
school
Well,
for
school
25
starts,
to
I believe, at 8:40.
Right.
That's
That's too
only
late.
to
So-
go into form, and if
Yeah.
they're not there at form and it
Yeah.
starts, they're late.
I mean, it's different enough being a student anyhow, isn't it? Without having to rush off a bus to
Yeah.
get into your classroom or wherever you do it.
plus it's long up the village to get to the bus stop in the first
Yeah, of course.
I agree that it's a case that as a parish council we should write to the school to sort of like ask them
Yeah.
what their standpoint is, what they've been informed, and as well put through the questions. I think that Councillor Sheldon's put that.
It might well be that in the same way as we do the Twilight Bus
Yes.
donation, that maybe something like that could be looked at. not going to be huge, but maybe just enough to sweeten the deal a bit to enable it to happen. Because the twilight bus service is a useful one as well.
It depends whether it comes down to the reason behind it really is a financial one or if it's another organisation.
It will be financial. Because I mean, there are other bus companies that could be utilised.
I'd say it's financial.
Yeah.
It's purely financial.
But that service is essential for the children in this village and their well-being, their families from my point of view. And we need to support the parents as much as we can to get a bus service to continue.
Now, with the, I'm just thinking, it should really be the clerk and the chair that puts that together, but I'm thinking aloud here as
Timing.
Yeah.
this timing.
Do we need to have a vote on it, that we expedite it from you two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if that's, I'm willing to do that. If so,
Yeah.
can we have a vote on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the, who proposed?
I think Nick proposed and I seconded. Everybody else got around.
If there are any other sort of thoughts like Councillor Sheldon's put for anybody, please email that across to either myself or Sue. Well, if you do it to all councillors, it will come to everybody, and then we can collate it together and make sure that we put all of that information together.
Is there anything else that the ward councillors would like to?
Yeah, could you just say the more emails we get, the better. The more ammunition we get. So if you can ask the parents to email us, anyone involved, because if we get 2 emails, they'll think,
Yeah.
but if we get 20,
And
I
who
would
should that
bombard
be to yourself?
to myself, Councillor
Yes,
Howard
yes.
and Councillor Owen, please.
Could I suggest we put that onto the Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, and also I'm quite happy to put up my contact details on Facebook or Denise's, and people could perhaps email from there. We've done a similar thing with Paul Cranswick with the speeding problems, and we got a good response.
Thank
so
you.
I think that's a good way forward.
We'll do what we can. But it sounds like it's going to be quite a sort of dynamic situation, so we're going to have to react to it as it comes on. So maybe
I think it's a bit of negotiation really, actually, with safeguarding the children is just being put at risk.
Can I just add something? We've got £2,000 in a grant fund. Could we not use that to help the finance of it? Because it's something really important.
Yeah, you're right, and there is a potential in other reserves if we wanted to. We could potentially offer it as a service ourselves as a parish, other than nightmare.
Yeah.
I think that would
For volunteers, that would be.
Do you know approximately how many children it is?
It used to be 50, 60 children. It used to be a full double decker.
Very significant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I would have thought that would have been similar numbers, if not more. I think.
definitely.
It's not a minibus service, put it that way.
No.
It's a double decker.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be worth possibly inquiring to see whether or not the kids at the top of Wansford are covered as well, because if the service does end up running, you could potentially just loop it around. So I don't think they've got an issue. I think they walk down to the road.
I think they're on the North Frog bus.
Yeah, I think they are. But it's one of those, if we can do good elsewhere with it and it not cost anyone any money, then it's got to be positive. But
Yeah.
I think it's covered, but it would be worth making sure.
I'm sure there'll be funds available for the feathers as well.
Yes. With it being a fee collecting service, it shouldn't need much of a sweetener onto it to make a bus company be willing to take it on.
I will float one other issue. Is it something, as a parish council, we wish to speak to the media about, or is it something we want to go along the avenues that we've spoken about in the open forum with our 2 ward councillors to approach the relevant authorities, or do you think we should speak to the media about it?
I would. definitely would.
So you've got the support of your councillors.
Yeah.
If it's a problem for the child as well,
Yeah.
I'm sure Charlie would, he'd probably come along actually, and, you know, have a photo with some parents or something like that. Especially
We've got a meeting tomorrow.
He's off.
We've got a meeting tomorrow, actually. Happy week. So I can pop along.
He's in Driffield on Thursday.
Driffield Thursday, and then someone can pop to that.
Friday, surgery.
I've got to say I can't be involved in my job.
I can't be involved in that.
What's the location on Thursday?
I think it's.
I'm free on Thursday morning, but I'm engaged in afternoon. I could be interested in
It's
meeting.
afternoon, no, it's afternoon.
Oh, right. So do we discuss doing a press release? What do we think we should do as a council then? Because time is of an essence with this particular issue, isn't it? They're back at school.
Needs to be on with really this week.
Yeah. What do you think, Chair? Do we contact Driffield Walls Weekly and give them a quote from yourself, or on behalf of the council?
I think so.
Yes, on behalf of the council. I think my reticence why I'm not going there was yes, I think that going to the press is very, very important. I just feel we don't have much information at the moment other than what was in that email from the parent. So if we get questioned on it any further, we haven't got any sort of like to go back.
We can still make a statement.
Say
can't we?
that it's like it's been brought to our attention and we're looking into it because this is a terrible situation and we're going to do everything we can.
Well, we've got
for it
support
not
of our
to-
ward council,
Yes.
so it makes
So I
us.
think it's that sort of.
It's good if you've got parents, particular parents who are willing to actually say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just makes it stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We definitely come through and meet some
I don't.
parents.
Children safety. If one child walking on there to be picked up by a stranger,
Exactly.
good decision that one, because you save £5,000. Well,
Or one of them may not who can't afford to get home, is walking home in December across the road and gets killed.
Yeah.
Right, take that. Well done, you've saved £5,000. Great decision. It's atrocious. And then it comes down to that. It really does come down to that. It's pathetic. And considering, no offence to councillors, considering what they spend and waste money on, it's ridiculous that children's safety has gone over what they're still spending on group.
So will you actually have we'll look into it, we'll get the letter put together, we'll send that off to,
Do you want me to put down what I've got as actions?
yes please.
Okay. So actions I've got so far, parish council to write to the school Monday to Friday. Councillor Sheldon to send all the information of his questions to the ward councillors. We're going to expedite the letter because the chair's on holiday and we don't know how long the clerk's absence is going to be. So Heidi, Councillor Waits and Councillor Tate will do that. Proposed by Nick and seconded by Nige. We're going to ask Andy Wilkinson, who's the pupil's parent, whether he's written to the council. We're going to put it on the Facebook page from Parish Council that the more people that write, the higher it will go up priority. We will consider funding when we have more information from Parish Council funds. We would like to find out whether Wansford's included or not, and we may choose to speak to the media once we have a bit more information, because we are vehemently against those plans.
Speaking to the press, though, we need to hit that as well straight away.
So they're probably going to print tomorrow.
But I think it's one of those things that if we can get a press release out, even based on the information we've got, because we can only act on the information we've got, it then puts all of their thoughts onto those questions. And proves wrong.
We haven't put it sent to one of the actual timelines in the cabinet.
Yes. So we'll do that at the same time.
Yeah.
Make first copy and we'll see weren't there for that. And then we're just going to case of reacting to what comes back.
Yeah.
So that we're being effective with what we're doing.
I think, yeah, just
Consultation could be
that's it. I think we speak to the field goals weekly early. They would see what we need to do.
Okay, so that's the open forum. Minutes of the last meeting, they have been circulated. Does anybody have any comments about them? Yes.
On the section on police kits, there is a piece that says to obtain further information for the August meeting. That's incorrect. We agreed at the last meeting to buy them and they have already been ordered. I did tell her on that. So she just left that on, I think, from last month by accident. She's aware.
So we need a creative police on the website.
Go.
So I think it's like
Right, yeah, we need updated minutes for putting on the website then.
Would you be able, because we haven't got access to update them, because, is there a way that we can sort of put?
I can possibly get the document to research it out.
I'd be happy. Is everybody happy with that amendment? Is there anything else?
you show hands. Do you want to show hands that we're happy with it?
Okay. Please. All in favour? Thank you. You need to keep this right.
Don't worry.
It's my
You're
first
all right.
time.
You're all right.
Hey, Michael, right, let's go back to the agenda. Right, we've done that. Accounts. Right, we've got a VAT refund of £7,776.44, which is broken down for the parish council of £5,941.80 and the rec club £1,834.64. And then we've got Ross Holmes invoice £733.67. And the domain fees for the parish council website of £46.71.
I'll just say that's for 2 years.
So is that for last year and this year, or
No,
this year and next
this year,
year?
next year.
So it'll be 2026 then. Alright, so next
We
one.
need to talk about the
Yeah.
posting complaints to the external auditor.
That's not on there. Okay, yes. There has been a complaint made to the external auditor. That is being about the financial actions of the parish council. Because it is still with the auditor, we cannot discuss it, we cannot do anything other than mentioning that there is that complaint in place. The auditor has made us aware that they're going to attempt to get a response by the beginning of September. So it may or may not be in time for the next month's meeting, but would most definitely be on our agenda for October.
Is that a response to the complaint, or is that an outcome to the investigation that they're looking at, the external auditor?
So that can be investigation. Right, number 7, we have the MIA, Ecology Report from Councillor Tate.
I spoke to World Ecology last week. They're still on track to get the report completed by the end of August. He will advise me of the date that he's going to be completing it, but unfortunately it's ready for tonight.
Does it sound like it will be ready to?
Yeah, he said definitely it would be ready by the end of August. He committed to me. Apparently it's a really busy time for bats and things.
Okay.
But he committed that it would definitely be done by the end of August.
Okay. Well, would it be relevant in this section then to Councillor Tagg's question with about the arborist report. Are any councillors aware if there is an arborist report?
I think it was Councillor Land Sharp that was leading on that, and I know I'm on the mayor and I've had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I've had a rest.
So the answer is, we don't know.
We don't know.
No, it's just,
I think there was, because the guy, they did get somebody else, didn't he?
it's just to say, you know, is it diseased? Can it be saved?
No, it's dead, apparently. Well, there's half of it, because apparently...
I know some of it's fallen, but that's why we need an arborist report.
At the last meeting, we did discuss that, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the person that the mayor committee mentioned, but that he had been out and confirmed it was dead.
Right.
So the person that's given us the quote for...
It's actually been on the island. Right.
Yeah.
And the price was for just cutting it down?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Because I think we need a bit more advice, because, you know, I've had some stuff sent me. I mean, first of all, it says we had a look at the island and tree removal. The tree removal would be a devastating action. The island looks to be an important part of wildlife habitat and a key visual aspect for the village. So unless the tree has a terminal illness, we say help it, support it and save it. And I reckon that'll be cheaper.
Can we ask who that?
No, it didn't want to be mentioned.
Well,
Well, we don't accept it.
Well, I'm just saying what somebody said, accept it or not, but actually that makes sense.
If you're happy to put that in as it's coming from you rather than an anonymous person,
Well, yeah,
because we don't accept any communication from
that's
you.
fine. It was just that bit. I mean, he'd also,
You can email it to...
I think we should email it through and we can put it on to discuss it another point.
there was other things. He said he'd spoken to,
Because we haven't got
I think it's, let's not overcomplicate it, it's dead. I think that's...
but we need a report because it don't look dead to me.
Well, I see...
Councillor Tagg, can you please forward that information to us, put it in a format that it's saying that it's coming from you, not from an anonymous person, because otherwise it will be rejected. And then it can be discussed at a future meeting, especially when there are more members of the mayor committee here who would be able to put their expertise to it, rather than us.
They know, I remember, I seem to something, I don't know if it's all of it or some of it that's dead, but essentially when it goes, I mean, you've seen it, when that'll take half the island with it when it goes over the whole roots and one thing. So that's what I think the plan to take it down is to prevent the island from disappearing.
Right.
That's my knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Right, councillors, we've gone backwards and forwards a few times on this. I'm going to move on to the next point. You've been given your instructions what to do with the information, so please do that.
When will we know about the planning, you know, the planning application? Will we get a number so people can put in a complaint or whatever? Because I've been asked for the number and I don't know the procedure, so I...
We've been given the information that we will talk about that point and your question at a future meeting when the full mayor committee is here. And then the planning application that will be put will be on the minutes and we will be able to discuss that
Okay.
as part of the planning when it comes on our minutes. So I'm now moving on to the next point. Number 7, the flooding drainage report. Is there anything for any councillors here to report? We have nothing from because Steve said that he hasn't passed on any information. Right, number 8, we're going on to planning. Right, the first one is 24/01677/PLF. Erection of garden shed is retrospective planning permission. Has anybody any comment to make on that?
I need to have to look at that. That's on down Station Road, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't even see it. Have you been to see it?
No, I haven't, no, but I think I know the one. I haven't specifically been to see it, but
I can't even understand the circumstances in which that's even come about. I don't see it.
It's retrospective. She's put the garden shed's already been erected.
How anyone even knew unless it's a neighbour that's reported it? God alone knows.
Right. So it's not impacting anybody that we know of. So we're happy to.
No
No
comments.
comment on that?
Yeah.
And is that all councillors in
Yeah.
favour of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got, plan number 24/01/999/TCA, Nafton Conservation Area, to fell 12 apple trees, or is it number 12 apple tree, at Cherry Tree Cottage, 31 Westgate in Nafton. Now, has the tree committee been viewed this?
I've not been to see that one.
Did you say you've been?
No, I haven't. It was the other one that.
You have, so the committee's been to see it?
I'll go and see it tomorrow morning if that's convenient. If you're happy with that, and report back.
I think we need to check whether it is 12.
Yes, because
Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand.
It isn't felled times 12, it just says felled 12 apple trees, so I think it's,
Mm.
yes.
I'll go and do it after breakfast tomorrow and report back to
Thank
you.
you. Right, another retrospective planning application here for 24/02067/PLB, replacement of roofing felt, tiding blades and pantiles to roof.
I've got a
at
peculiar interest in
24
this one.
Street, Nafton.
I have a peculiar interest
A
in that one.
peculiar interest for it.
Sorry, Chair, I wasn't paying attention. Which one's this?
It is the replacement of roofing felt, tiling blades and pantiles to roof, 24 Street, Nafton. Retrospective,
That's good anyway.
so it's, I think there's,
If this replacement was there, then.
yes.
I think it's appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the second time it's been through in fairness, isn't it?
So is everybody,
Yeah.
No.
okay, no comment?
There's been no complaints about changing colour or style or look or appearance or anything to anyone, so
Mm.
it must be like for like.
Mhm. And the final, 24/02208/TCA, Nafton Conservation Area, remove one holly tree due to its position in the garden and close proximity to the house. That's Dell House, 8 Parsonage Close in Nafton. How's the,
Human advantage in that one, if I may.
okay?
There was a lot of detail on the planning of that, and it is very close to the house. So
So to say that there's
Mm.
nothing for us to object
No.
to, they're quite reasonable to
No.
request that.
What was it? 8 parsonage close?
Yes.
there was a lot of pictures on that one. It's quite detailed.
Are holly trees covered under the conservation area anyway?
Is that in the conservation area?
It is.
It must be. That's what planning is. Well,
So no comment on that?
just it's annoying that it's another tree coming down. It's almost like Amazon, isn't it? Around here. With that many trees coming out and none of them being put back. It's ridiculous.
Just because it's close to a building as well.
It's a good point for the household. I'd probably agree with them and do the same, but it's another tree gone. And yes, it's a good reason, but it's yet another tree. That's all. It's just a frustration, Chair. That's all.
Okay. So no comments put in, happy for us to not taking action on that. Okay, where are we now? Number 9, correspondence. There's one correspondence here, which we haven't got printed out, but we have had it,
It's
So-
probably to read it.
yeah, obviously.
Invite to the East Riding of Yorkshire Bus Partnership Forum. You are cordially invited to attend the next meeting of the ERY Enhanced Bus Partnership Forum. I wonder what that is then, if it's cancelling our bus. This will be held on Friday 18th of October 2024, and we've given us good notice for change. At the Rays Business Centre in Gull. We rotate forum meeting on East Riding, etc. So I suppose we've got plenty of time, so if you want to put it, somebody to take that.
I think that would be interesting to find out if the school bus has got anything to do with that.
Is that East Yorkshire Emergency Services?
It's the bus partnership.
East Riding of Yorkshire Bus Partnership Forum.
So it's what
Yeah.
does that mean?
Actually, what involvement did they have then in this decision-making process? Of our bus? If I do, they have a remit for it.
It's looking for it as well.
It's Friday, the 27th.
So I suggest that we may be, with writing this letter to ERIC, as well as write to them to just sort of say, have you had any involvement in this process, and can you enlighten us to what's going on? That is
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that, yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they may get everybody on side. Right, okay. Right, number 10, committee reports. So we've got Village Hall. Steve's not here. Feffies.
No meeting.
Play area.
Criminal counsellors.
They're not here.
The roundabout needed replacing last month. Well, it's anybody else spending something on it.
As far as I haven't heard anything about that. I can't recall anything coming through about that, so maybe we need to put it on for next month to check if it has been actioned. That's one of those.
Renew the domain names, as we can see.
Oh, sorry.
Renew the domains.
Oh, we moved the domains on the server.
It's
Sorry.
Right, next point. Proposed purchase of equipment by the PC to record PC meetings, and I've just deleted that one, I'm sorry. Councillor.
I had a quick look to try and find, with the fact it's on the audio recording, obviously it reduces the requirements quite a lot. The problem that you've got is being able to pick up audio from around the room, because if you just have one, like a phone, you'll get really good audio here. Ron will be able to hear everything I'm saying on a video, but if someone over on that side of the room speaks, especially quietly, you won't hear a damn thing. And that's the problem. So the two routes really are to go with multiple microphones. That really does increase costs. Or to go with a good quality omnidirectional microphone in the middle of the room that should hopefully pick up a lot better. Anything that's designed as a proper standalone microphone is going to work better than a phone which has a camera and a microphone and a speaker and a dozen other things in a small body.
Well, if it's been designed for that.
Of course. And then you've got the decision of how you actually record it, and I suppose a lot of the question really is what the intended purpose of the final recording is. If the intention is that you're going to put it online as quick as humanly possible for it to be for the members of the public, which seems to have a limited benefit with the fact that there's going to be a video on anyway, then you need to spend more. If it's just for an audio record for us to be able to refer back to if required, and maybe to help Anne with minutes, etc., then you can go really as low tech as a dictaphone, or moving up to something slightly more advanced like a Zoom recorder, which will have decent quality microphones built in. And cost-wise, you'll be looking somewhere between 50 and 200 quid, which you could just sit in the middle of the room and would do most of the job. And you can either go sort of low tech on the recording side with a high-tech microphone as two separate things, or an all-in-one unit, which the downside of that will be the unit will be a bit more complicated to operate, because the other thing we've got to think about is who's going to do the operation of it every month, because it's all right saying for argument's sake, can I do it? If I'm not here, then someone else would have to do it. So the ideal person really would be the person who is almost guaranteed to be at every meeting, which would be Anne. I can't speak for Anne, but I would suspect she would probably prefer the simpler the better, and especially if she's going to be pulling information off it, she'd probably definitely prefer the simpler the better, in which case something simpler might be the better option. But that's my feelings, and that's what I found.
You said the dictaphone was about £50.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one that I've had for years, and it is you can pick them up. They're digital now. They don't use the little tapes with just all hiss and no sound, and they're pretty good, to be honest. And you could even start by getting just a dictaphone with no external microphone. They've all got external microphone ports. Just get a dictaphone, try it in another room for a meeting, see how the sound recording is.
For the sake of £50,
yeah.
I would agree with you.
And then if you think we could do with a microphone attached, I mean, I've got some microphones, I'm sure other people in the room probably have. We could try plugging an external microphone into it and see if that improves the situation. If it does, then happy days.
Well, I was going to say there's two things we can do to help here. First of all, we can get closer. Move the tables nearer to each other, so that we don't have such a gap. And yeah, I think a decent, like you said, conference type mic
Yeah.
would be sufficient for this size.
It's not a big meeting ultimately.
No, it's not. No.
It's not like we need to.
And it's a
need-
well soundproof one,
Yeah.
so it shouldn't echo around.
It's not like we need to cover a concert hall. It's
Sorry, I'm not taking it on a personal note, but that microphone that's on your desk.
The one I use for work.
Yeah.
Yes, probably, possibly.
No, I'm just saying that if
Yeah.
we did purchase a dictaphone, as that,
Oh no, it wouldn't work with
No.
a dictaphone. No.
what connection is on it?
USB.
USB is it? Yeah, you'd want one with these are a mic socket and a mic plug-in, so it's
Right,
3.5 mil I think. Plus.
Yeah, so we'd need either, like I said, a different microphone or something like just simple as a tablet that it can plug into.
Yes, that's.
It records very well, actually.
Does it pick up?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
got
right,
quite a
right.
few recordings what I started off on.
So chances are probably just that's an audio quality one, probably just something that's not so much designed for a businessman in the car driving along, but something that's sort of designed to pull a surround and stereo. I think that will do it, to be honest, without an external mic at all. Try it. If it's a road we want to go down, that's the cheapest route, I think, and I think that's the key, to try and spend as little as
How
possible.
can we extract the recording?
We've got two options. I mean, this is on an SD card, this one.
So we just plug it into
You just pull the SD card out and plug it into something. That's the key, I think. And of course, it just records to MP3, which means if you do want to put it online, then it's easy.
can you not get ones that have a USB?
You can. In fact,
I think this one just,
this one does the same thing.
it just downloads onto your computer. I don't know how to do it like, but
You can just use this.
it's got a USB, you put it on and it just puts it on.
Is it not going on the website? Is that?
I mean, you could do. There's no reason why you couldn't put MP3s on there
Yeah, no more so.
for download. The other option would be to, sort of stream to something like YouTube or equivalent.
I know we're going back on what we agreed, but there's an owl. At work we have an owl device, and it's like a 360
Yeah.
camera, and brilliant. But
Yeah,
it's
about
£1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we use it.
too much.
We use it to teach, but so someone can't come in and shove that in the room, we can log on and watch it. So,
Yeah. Usually they're pretty good because they're zooming on who's talking
yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
They'll
there
also
is.
probably transcribe the meeting.
Yeah. It's an all-in-one solution, but that's
Yeah.
video if you decide against that. But that would give an instant solution for streaming like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of videos, isn't it? That's the thing.
Well, ultimately for a parish council meeting.
Yes.
If it's what residents want. Anyway,
I think
we
that
voted on that, sorry.
we've been going round and round about this for quite a number of months. I propose that in preparation for next month's meeting, we purchase a dictaphone and we try it out and we see if it works.
I mean, did you want to borrow this one for the meeting?
I was going to suggest could we just record?
Any new ones will be better than this.
Yeah.
This is where I'm taking it on.
If
So
you're,
if this
if
does,
you're happy
It's
with
fine.
that, then yes.
it's, if I'm not here, I'll just give it to Nick or someone and
Yeah.
bring it up. It's, I'd say try it now, but it needs a battery in it.
No, I think we should crack on and give it a go and see what it's like. Yes.
I suppose my only question is if we take this step as a council, does it prevent a councillor from streaming it?
No.
Because it is.
Which ones? Sorry,
Any person
Councillor
can.
Tax, sorry. Yvonne.
What did you say?
I said you can still do that if you wanted to, even if it's screen filmed and
No.
recorded.
I mean, I-
Well, we've decided that as a parish council, we're not going to film it. The only record that we will make is an audio one. And that can then be put out as the official record from the parish council that we will be behind and we will, not certificate, but sort of say, yes, this is what we regard as the official record of a meeting. Any other recording that is made is totally unofficial and is not declared as an official or accurate record of a meeting because they can be manipulated.
Of course. I mean, I'd ask you, Yvonne, I'd ask you, Council,
What?
if we do this next month, as Oliver's discussed and we've agreed that we trial it, would you still insist on recording it
Yeah.
yourself?
Because I think we should live stream. Lots of councils
why would you
do
need
it.
to do that then?
Because, well, basically, I don't trust you.
Right. That's,
You want the truth?
well,
Councillor
as a, as
Not
a,
you personally.
Yeah, well, I find that quite insulting.
Yeah, but not you personally. But I don't, no. And I mean, what's wrong with live streaming?
Yes, Councillor Oates.
I would just like to ask what it is that's not trusted about the audio creation that we would do.
Well, you've just said I could mess about with this, which actually you can't because you can see if it's been cut. And I always have 2 copies because I've got the dictaphone on.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
So,
But you sort of insinuating that somebody would doctor the audio on our side before we put
if
it
they
on.
wanted to cut something out, yeah.
So you believe that, I believe I'm probably
So you're
the only person here who would be capable of doing that. I don't know if there's anybody else who is...
Oh, I'm sure I could figure it out.
I'm sure you can figure it out, yeah.
Yeah, but you've just said my copy's not an official copy because it can be messed about with. Well, you can mess about with yours. Same goes.
Your copy is not an official copy.
It doesn't have to be, but you accused me. You said it can be messed about with. I don't even know how to edit.
I said that there is the possibility, which there
Yeah, and there's also the possibility that you could do the same.
because the record would be an official one of the whole of the parish council, the whole of the parish council is responsible for it. And then to assist for the minute taker, tonight is Councillor Tate, and usually our clerk, so that they have a record of the meeting.
Well, that's fine, but
Chair, so if I may, I think it's the concern that I have is that you've obviously got concerns about trust of them.
I have definitely.
I think what would be a shame is if at some point that they're not raised and addressed, because this is one council that we work together for the benefit of the community, of course. And if we're working against each other, then our efforts are not then best addressed for the community that we're serving. So I think at some point that those, whatever is causing those concerns ought to be raised and addressed so that we can then become one team.
Well, that would be nice.
Collaborative,
but-
highly effective team, rather than the constant fighting against each other. Is we are not the
There's a lot of things, Alex, that's been done.
Councillor Tagg, let me finish. I think the efforts that we're putting in is we're not the important people here. We're not the people that matter. We're nobody. The people that really matter are the people that are in the village.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So what our opinions
But
are doesn't really matter.
no one's ever told the people of the village. I mean, it takes 3 months to put the minutes up.
The doors are open.
No, oh, so what? How many thousands have we got in the village? Can they all get in here?
We're invited. If
Yeah, but not everybody. Alex, come on, you know, because you voted for live stream. Not everybody. Not everybody can get in. A lot of people will watch. They've got kids to put them to bed. They'll watch, or maybe they'll watch the next day.
I think you're overemphasising just how entertaining parish council meetings are. I'm not sure.
No, but it's people that want to know what's going on.
But they can come in and they can ask a question, can't they? They can speak to you as a councillor and say and get it that way. If they can't come, there's many ways they can get in touch with us. And before 1994, that's the only way that they could get a hold of us. And it works for many, many years that way, like hundreds of years that way. It's only a recent evolution that this is available.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing.
And it is, and I agree with you. My personal stance, sorry, Chair, I'm not saying, but my personal stance.
I mean, even East Riding, they live stream all theirs.
They do.
Yeah.
But we've chosen not to. But I still think.
I know you have, but
we're open, and I think still the point is, if you're as a council thinking that we are not trustworthy, then it is your.
well, I tell the truth, and I don't think you're trustworthy, and I've got reason.
Councillor Tagg, you've brought up allegations this evening, yet again. I would like to request from you, if you have issues,
I have lots.
saying you've
I
got
have lots of issues.
can you please put them in writing
I ask Anne questions all the time. She doesn't even answer me.
You need to put the questions that you have, not questions, because you've got allegations. They're
I have got,
different.
yeah, I have.
So you need to put your
Yeah.
allegations.
And I've got
in
proof to back them
writing.
up.
Can I finish, please, what I'm saying in one sentence?
I'm not going to put them in writing to you because nobody ever listens. I will put them
That's your
online.
decision. So, if you are
When I get
deciding
time,
not
it will all
to-
go online with the proof. So yes, I don't trust
I'm
you.
going to move on because this is not acceptable way for a parish councillor to behave.
Absolutely.
What, because I've told you I don't trust you?
Because you are trying to manipulate the meetings to your own ends. And
No, I'm not.
that's what a parish council is about.
I'm not.
So
I've said I
going
don't
to
trust
move
you,
on to
and I
the
don't.
next point in the agenda, and we are going to move on. So the final point of the agenda is number 12, village maintenance, notice boards, councillor C. Milan. Well, as Kathy isn't here, she cannot give us her points on that. And so at the time of 8:30 p.m, I will now call this meeting to an end. Thank you very much, councillors, and thank you, members of the public.
Thank you, Hattie.